Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to understand your favorite companies, and sometimes they try to explain themselves with a little help from the CAC Get Ready, because eBay is here to clear up a little misunderstanding, and involves a slip of the tongue that might make you wonder what is really happening with their numbers. Before we dive in, if you like your corporate news straight up and without the fluff, hit that subscribe button. And for those who want to chat about these filings or anything else corporate, join our Discord community, link in the description. So what exactly is this document? An 8, think of it as a heads up given to investors. When something significant happens at a company that isn't part of the regularly scheduled financial reports, it's like a company's official way of saying, hey, something important just went down and you need to know. This particular 8K is dated the 31st of October 2025, but the main event that triggered it happened just a day before, on the 30th of October. The reason eBay is filing this is under what is called Regulation FD, which stands for Fair Disclosure. Essentially, this regulation makes sure that companies share important information with everyone at the same time, preventing insider advantages. So when something important is said publicly, they have to make sure it is clear to all investors. Okay, so here is where it gets interesting. Jamie Iannone, the CEO of eBay, was on Fox Business talking about their future. When asked about the fourth quarter of 2025, he said they expected a 4 to 6% growth in something called Gross Merchandise Volume, or GMV, for next year. Now, GMV is a super important number for companies like eBay. It's the total value of all goods sold over their platform. Think of it as the company's total sales before they take their cut as fees. The problem is he meant to say for next quarter, not for next year. So instead of saying their GMV would grow 4 to 6% for the upcoming 3 months, he accidentally said it for the entire next year. This is a pretty big difference. Imagine saying your salary will increase by 5% next year, but you actually meant just for the next 3 months. That's a huge change in expectation, right? eBay is filing this 8K to make it crystal clear that the CEO misspoke. They're not changing their guidance, they're just correcting a verbal slip. The actual guidance for the fourth quarter of 2025, which they issued on the 29th of October, is indeed a GMV growth of 4 to 6% for that quarter. This correction is important because if investors misunderstood and thought the 4 to 6% growth was for the entire next year, they might have had a much less optimistic view of eBay's future growth prospects. Now, you might be wondering, why is this a big deal? Well, eBay's stock symbol is eBay and it's traded on the Nasdaq Global Select Market. When a CEO makes a statement about future performance, investors pay close attention. A seemingly small mistake in wording can lead to big questions about how the company is really performing and how confident its leadership is. This filing itself doesn't contain detailed financial tables like a quarterly earnings report, which we usually dig into on this channel. Instead, it's purely a clarification. However, it does confirm that eBay's common stock is registered and traded under eBay on a major exchange. And to wrap things up, the report is officially signed off by Samantha Wellington, who holds a pretty important title: Senior Vice President, Chief Legal Officer, and Secretary. This just signifies that all the proper procedures were followed to make this correction official. So, what's the takeaway here? This isn't a story about a financial crisis or a surprise announcement of a new product. It's a story about communication. eBay is saying the CEO had a slip of the tongue, and we want to be absolutely sure everyone understands our growth targets for the upcoming quarter are solid, not spread out thin over a whole year. This correction, while seemingly minor, is vital for maintaining investor confidence and ensuring everyone is on the same page about eBay's short-term outlook. It shows a commitment to transparency even when it is about fixing a mistake. Looking at eBay, they are battling in a very competitive online marketplace. They've been around for a long time, but companies like Amazon and others are always vying for shoppers' attention. GMV growth is like the lifeblood for them. It indicates how much economic activity is happening on their platform. A 4 to 6% growth in a single quarter is a decent, steady pace, showing some resilience in a tough market. But the fact that a misspoken word could cause confusion highlights how sensitive investors are to forward-looking statements. In conclusion, eBay's 8K filing is a good example of a company being proactive in clarifying information. While there are no dramatic financial figures to dissect here, its importance lies in the accurate communication of guidance. The risk here is that any ambiguity can breed uncertainty. eBay's strength is its established brand and loyal customer base. Their weakness is the intense competition and the need to constantly innovate to stay relevant. The opportunity lies in leveraging their marketplace to attract new sellers and buyers and potentially expand into new services. The clear statement now confirms their Q4 2025 GMV outlook is a targeted quarterly growth and not a diluted annual expectation. Alright, that is our breakdown of eBay's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Do you think these kinds of verbal slips are a big deal or just human error? Drop your thoughts in the comments if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.